Hi, everybody. So first of all, thank you, Arun, and thank everyone for having me here. We're a global education institution that's building a community of individuals empowered to find work they love. So what does that mean, and how did we get here? Well, let me talk a little bit about how GA started, because it started a little bit different than, say, most things that call themselves global education institutions. We started just out of a very, very basic community need that we saw. I was an entrepreneur 4 years ago, didn't really know what I was doing with my life. Met up with some friends who were also entrepreneurs, and we saw a need in a community. We saw entrepreneurs, designers, technologists, people who had amazing skills and were doing incredible creative things, but didn't really have a place to come together or a center of this community. So we started initially just a space for people to come together based around the idea of collaboration, serendipitous encounters, and the journey over the destination. But as we started doing this, we saw a couple of needs and a couple of trends that were even bigger than the ones we had started out to solve. One, and I pulled this headline out of the journal a couple of weeks ago, why aren't companies getting graduates with the skills they need? And this was an obvious need from the very beginning of General Assembly's existence. We had companies and entrepreneurs who were in our space that couldn't find the talent they need. And they would leave our space and they would grow and they would get funded and they would build themselves to 10 to 20 to 50, 100 to 1,000 people, and they still couldn't find web developers, designers, product managers, digital marketers, these kind of 21st century skills that were so high in demand, but just weren't being taught in significant enough numbers. It's a great statistic I saw the other day, that by 2020 there will be 1.4 million computer science and computer-related jobs, and only 30% of those will be filled by college graduates that are coming out today. The United States outputs fewer computer science grads today than it did in 1989. So clearly there was a need for talent and a need for skills. On the flip side, I graduated college in 2008 at, just as the financial collapse was starting. My peers were lost and lonely in their careers. They didn't know what they wanted to do with their lives. They were working, many of them not unemployed in the way the BLS defines it, but certainly underemployed and working jobs that they didn't enjoy, that weren't going anywhere, unpaid internships, working jobs that didn't require a college degree, despite being tens if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. This is a chart of youth unemployment, which kind of shows the broadness of the stat that is available, which is unemployment. Underemployment is a lot harder to measure. That shows that we're at some of the highest levels we've ever been as a country in terms of youth unemployment. And this is not just the fault of education institutions and individuals. In 1979, the average company provided 2.5 weeks per year of on-the-job training and skills. This is not just education's fault, but education has to solve the problem. Today, it's 11 hours of on-the-job training and skills per year that companies supply their employees. So we saw this problem and we decided to solve it. So we created this education institution, and today we're in 8 cities, 5 in the US and 3 international, teaching topics that we saw the biggest need in. We saw a gap in the market and a market in the gap. Product management, various types of web development, user experience design, digital marketing, data science are all topics that we saw an immense need for over the past 2 to 3 years. We've graduated 4,000 students from these programs. That will be over 10,000 by the end of next year. And we have over 2,300 companies in our network across those 8 cities that are looking for graduates in these programs and are showing up to our hiring events. And in many cases, we will actually partner with those companies to develop curricula. So let me tell a little bit about the 3 things that make General Assembly what it is. Community plus skills equals opportunity. Community is about where we started. Community is a group of individuals that are together empowered to find work they love. It's about the network of General Assembly alumni around the world who are in positions in web development and user experience design that are defining these new types of digital roles. Skills is a huge centerpiece of what we do. And in many cases, we reverse the curriculum development process. Let me give you an example. A year ago, American Express came to us and said, we will need to hire 3,000 data scientists in the next 2 years. We don't know where to find them. There are not enough of these people being produced for American Express, let alone all of the other people with massive data needs that don't know where to get these individuals. And on-the-job training is just simply not something companies are doing today. So they came to us and gave us their head data scientist for 3 months. We paired them with our in-house curriculum development team, and we built a data science course that is targeting individuals who have some basic statistics and programming background and get them to the place they can be a junior level data scientist. That's a methodology we take for all of our curriculum development at General Assembly. Finally, opportunity. In many cases, we run these 12-week, let's say 10 to 16-week programs, typically. And in many cases, students need on-the-job portfolios and experience in order to get that great full-time gig. So what we did is we went out to our hiring partners and said, I know you need junior talent. You still have this definition of 1 to 2 years of experience. Let's actually create a new typology that allows you to hire junior level talent. So we created a 3-month apprenticeship program where the apprentice is spending 4 days a week on site at the employer's location and 1 day a week at GA, focused on continuing education and support. So that's how we think about education and development at GA, and be happy to take your questions during the panel. Thank you.